Well, hello everyone and welcome to the World Hockey Champions Trophy for Men, which comes this year from Rotterdam. 6 of the best teams in the world, 5 en route to Beijing, fine-tuning their skills less than 50 days now prior to the big test still to come. First up, we've got Australia, ranked 2nd in the world and amongst the front-runners not just for here, but also those Olympics as well. Against Korea, something of a dark horse perhaps, but always a team to be reckoned with. A recent test victory over the Dutch suggests that Korea are well advanced in their preparations for Beijing. The Australian Kookaburras surprisingly left out the experienced Brent Livermore for this tournament, and the unfortunate Livermore has now sustained a stress injury that will cast a real doubt over his Olympic selection. It does, however, point to a huge bank of talent available to Barry Dancer. 2 big wins over an informed Belgium ahead of this meeting confirms that the men from Down Under are firing once again on all cylinders. Korea too have bags of experience in their team, and if they can hit the straps in this opening match, they can cause some problems here. And joining me up in the commentary box today will be coaching guru Rick Charlesworth, who will have more than a passing interest in this one as his native Australia take on Asia's only representatives, Korea. Advance Australia fair then. Barry Dancer, the coach, sitting up in the stand, and we await the Korean anthem. Team Korea then, who line up in this opening game against Australia. Well, I mentioned to you that in the commentary box I've got Rick Charlesworth sitting alongside me. Rick, this opening game for both sides a very important start.
Well, yes, I think so. And what you'll find, Nick, is that there's the Australian lineup. A few surprises, perhaps. Abbott and Matheson, young players. This team is far from settled. You mentioned earlier Livermore. He's still a possibility for selection, I'm sure, in Barry Dancer's mind. And if you look at that team, then it represents a mobile unit, if you like. And I wouldn't think that that's what we'll necessarily be seeing in Beijing. But certainly these players are playing for a spot in the Olympics, and so it's very important for them.
On the subject of mobile units, Korea are always a very mobile team, and no surprises in their lineup today. The giant Ko in goal, and lots of high quality players on view out there as well. And they are many people's tip to create a real surprise out in Beijing. Have you seen anything of them, Rick, at all?
Well, I have seen them. I saw them play in New Zealand last year, and they played recently in Australia in a series with India, China Korea and Australia, and indeed Australia beat them each time. So the Australians would feel that they have the measure of this team, and indeed Korea lost to China. And Australia played in the final of the little tournament there in Darwin against China in the final, and so Korea were eliminated from the final match. So I think Australia would feel they have their measure, but you've got to watch Seo, Yu, those sorts of players at the front. They are terrific, very creative and dangerous.
So it'll be Australia in the gold and green against Korea in the red and blue, and we're almost ready to go here. This Des Abbott, a player I've not seen before. Rick, what can you tell us about him?
Very clever, very clever. He's been around. He played in the Junior World Cup here just 3 years ago. Very dangerous around the circle.
On the ball immediately there. Big, powerfully built player.
An Aboriginal boy too. One of we had one Baden Choppy playing in '96 in the Olympics in Atlanta, and so Des Abbott has found his way into the team.
Good to see. Well, we wish him good fortune here as Korea get going straight down this Kang, a powerful run. And the Australian defence needing to be on their guard there. Free hit to Korea. Just a metre or so away from their Australian circle. All those gold shirts now back in deep defence. All played in with power, looking for deflection. Didn't mention the umpires at the start of this game on this near side. Andy Mayer from Scotland. And he's joined by the South African John Wright over on the main grandstand side. Grey skies here in Rotterdam. But perfect playing conditions. Really is a wonderful venue for this Champions Trophy. Australia's captain today, Matt, is Bevan George. Here he is on the ball. Good interception. Kang plays an early ball for Sung Hoon Yoon. I think both camps a little short on sleep, Rick. There were huge celebrations here in Rotterdam last night after that Turkish soccer victory. The Turks are out in strength, and certainly the team staying in the same hotel that I am wouldn't have got much sleep until 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. So not a popular early morning start for these two camps. Let's see if they can turn on the style for us.
And really just finding out about one another. No one pressing. The Koreans have had a corner. Had a free hit outside the circle. They're dangerous situations in the hockey these days. Here we see them trying to come out of defence. Australians pressing.
Chul Kim. Good early ball forward, but Yoon arrived at the same time as his marker there, Kyle Brown.
Well, the Koreans are always searching for a long pass. They were looking for it there. They're looking for that ball to their dangerous strikers at the front, and they'll look for that pass all day.
Brown again. Just stops in his tracks, has a look, didn't fancy his options, and fires it across there to the tall figure of Bevan George.
Probably these two teams are the most direct of all the teams we'll see playing here. They look forward all the time, searching for a penetration.
High one over the top, it'll drop behind the Korean defence and go out of play, down by that corner flag.
I think the Australians have decided to play Dorner at the back. There he is, the big man at the back. He takes the corners, and he's been playing pretty consistently there now. They've made a commitment to him, and he's an important part of their defence, as well as, of course, the danger on the corners.
Now, Jamie Dwyer. Haven't spoken about Jamie Dwyer, but he is one of the world's most exciting players. Oh, a lovely goal. The Korean defence fast asleep there.
Matheson.
Well, that was careless defending there by Korea. What a wonderful ball through to Madison. Dancer looks on from the stand. Let's enjoy it again. See the player on the ball looking at, playing it through. Keeper might have done more. Defender was ball watching Rick there, I think.
Well, Brown threw the pass, a long pass. It wasn't really meant for Matheson. Matheson was in position. The goalkeeper should have played it. So should the defender. And really, the Korea paid the price for indecisiveness.
So early goal for Australia then. Here they come again. So unlike the Koreans, that normally well organised. Another chance here. A real scramble. Des Abbott there almost getting in.
Well, wonderful run from Ockenden and a quick pass to Abbott. Very nearly a second goal.
Well, that really was a defence-splitting pass from Brown. As Rick said, I'm not convinced that that was entirely his intention.
I think he was aiming for the first player, and he found the deep one, and lovely finish. Easy finish. You'd love that, won't you? You love that opportunity.
Well, you would so early in a tournament. He's opened his account early doors. Australia's free hits. Came out of a defender's stick. It'll be a long corner. These circles, Rick, so packed nowadays.
Well, those situations there's just a pack of players. I feel some sympathy for the umpire. I don't know how he can see everything that's going on. And the ball's just slammed in. They're looking for a deflection or a mistake and to win a corner, but it's really quite an impossible situation.
We have got the video umpire here, and the umpires will be calling on a third umpire up in the stands, not too far from where Rick and I are sitting, in fact. If there are any situations in the circle where a goal is in dispute, it'll help us get the right decision. So let's see how that technology pans out as well here. Again, an Australian free hit. Taken early, good movement by Australia. The Aussies will certainly be amongst the favourites come Beijing. This tournament position just about 40 odd days away from that start. That came off a foot, and John Wright agrees with our assessment, and we've got the game's first penalty corner. It's gone to Australia. Everything going their way at the moment.
Well, they're working the ball down the left there. Kyle Brown again in it. He fires the ball across, hits a foot. That's the result that you're very happy with. He's looking, finds a foot. Perhaps a little bit lucky he wasn't lifted, but certainly not dangerous. And now Dorner has his chance. He's been in good form. I saw him just score 2 out of 2 against Belgium last week.
There he is, Luke Dorner, another big, strong Aussie. Jamie Dwyer alongside him is often used for a slip left as well. So options for Australia here.
He favours low to the goalie's right.
Mark Knowles is also up there, just behind Dorner. Koreans too quickly off the line. It's Yong Bok Cha, the man entrusted with running first. Not a job I would fancy. And takes it on, goalkeeper did well. Bit of a scramble. Shot comes in, again the goalkeeper got something on it. And the deflection took it away there from Abbott. And out of play on the far side. And the goalkeeper's taken a knock there. Just on the inside of the thigh, that unprotected part. Big strong goalkeeper. Both camps have elected, Rick, just to put one goalkeeper in. We'll talk about that in a minute. Good save by the keeper there.
Inside of the left leg, then he knocked it away. He did well, didn't he?
He did do well.
And then across, any touch there might have been another chance. Brought it down.
I think it's the second shot that caught him. He's okay. A magic sponge has done its trick. Probably just enjoying the opportunity to be thanked for a double save there. So Korea's big goalkeeper. Dong-sik Ko. Both camps, Rick, just going with one goalkeeper in their starting 16 today. High risk or common sense these days?
I think it's common sense. It gives you the extra field player. Of course, these teams are preparing, even though it's not hot here, they're preparing for very hot conditions in Beijing. And I suspect that most teams will actually go into the tournament with only one goalkeeper and find themselves using the spare player, the new designation in the Olympics, player who can replace as one of their goalkeepers. So they'll play the extra field player.
Drilled in, and what did it come? Came off the defender's stick. Ended up in the back of the net there.
Looked like it was Dorner. You have to go for those balls as a defender, and that's what the Australians did. No claim from the Koreans, of course.
None at all.
Had it hit one of their sticks, I'm sure we would have seen some jumping.
in the Australian net today, Stephen Lambert, who's playing his 100th game for Australia today. So a milestone for him. He'd love to celebrate that with a clean sheet. Now Yoon having a run there at Brown. Ball control. Dwyer back helping defence. Runs away with it now. Plays the ball forward again. Abbott shoots, and Coe is there. Abbott looks full of confidence in leading this Australian front line.
He's a very capable player, very skilled and dangerous around the circle. I'm sure he's very much in their sights for the team for Beijing. But there's still a lot of players here fighting for a spot.
In the
Brown,
mix,
this man, he's done well today already. Hockenden's certainly created a place for himself.
This is lovely. Final pass, just letting them down there.
He almost could have shot, couldn't he? Could have taken this chance, I think. But they're lively at the front, and what I like about Abbott is he has the ability to beat someone and make a goal shot, as we saw just a minute ago.
Here's that wonderful, refreshing approach of a newcomer to the international scene as well.
Well, the advantage too is he hasn't been seen much, and so other teams won't know him that well.
Still only 22 years of age, and this is his 17th cap for Australia today. So, in terms of some of the players on display, very much a newcomer, a rookie.
Had a few injuries, but he's always been very promising, and indeed he was even on the periphery of the team for the last Olympics, so not such a surprise.
We're spreading the ball from left to right, back into the midfield now. Kang plays it out to the left, ball into the circle. Lambert made a bit of a nonsense of that, and Australia there happy to bang the ball out of play. There's the Centurion, Stephen Lambert.
Yeah, he meant to make a clearance there. That ball didn't quite go where he wanted it.
So a hit out for Australia here. Bevan George. Early ball forward. Hockenden losing out. Now Hyun. Early feed forward for Lee. Brown knocks it away. Korea just holding things up, waiting for support. Tied in very close to that corner flag. They'll do well to get it out of there. So quick, the Koreans, quick on the ball, and skillful movement off it.
Hammond, well done.
Good player.
Well, the Australians just missed a few traps coming out of defence, otherwise just losing possession a bit.
Dwyer putting a little bit of pace into his game there.
Well, when it's one-on-one with Dwyer with space, it's harder for him to be beaten.
Having shots, and went wide. Robbie Hammond, who seems to be getting better and better as a player.
He certainly made that attacking midfield position his in the middle.
Dwyer teasing with the ball outside the circle, now inside. And the interception there from Woon Kon Yeo just about in time. There he is, Jamie Dwyer. Plenty of fans in Holland, having to spend some time playing club hockey here. Dorner tries to set something up, but not the best pass he'll play during this tournament.
Looking. Schubert on for Australia, as is Kavanagh. Kavanagh playing in right midfield. So a couple of changes. We'll see a lot of that. We'll see all of the Australians on the pitch. Korea similarly making the changes. Bunch of them waiting on the sideline. Top of the camera shot there.
This is Hong. Kim losing out there to Jamie Dwyer. Dwyer sets off on those runs again. Flips the ball to the left. This is Schubert. Gingerhead Grant Schubert. Free hit to Australia. Hammond taking charge of this one. Now he leaves it. Pulls Luke Dorner forward.
Moved it 5 metres forward too.
Miss hit by Dorner, who's not having a good couple of minutes at the moment. A couple of miss hits from him. Zhang with the white bandana. Here he is again on the ball, slowing things down a little bit. Hong. Yo, back it goes for Zhang again. We're just playing the ball stick to stick, trying to get into this game really. Rattled by that early Australian goal.
Well, according to my stats, Australia have had 5 shots on goal already, and we've only been playing about 10 minutes, so certainly much the better of the beginning of the match.
Korea look a little intimidated at the moment, whether it's the history of the fixtures between these two sides or the bright start the Aussies have made. We'll have to wait and see. Certainly at the moment it's all Australia. Korea offering very little. I think Korea are a better side than we're seeing at the moment, Rick.
I think so, but something's been missing this year from their play. They lost to Belgium last week. There is something missing from their play. They're very dangerous sometimes. They've got a good corner battery, but the way they're playing, they're not going to win that many corners.
That's the critical part, of course.
And they've always been a bit shy in their finishing and their field play. You know, that's an area where they haven't been strong for a long time.
Can they create something here? They've won a free hit just inside that Australian 23-metre zone.
Just lacking inspiration, just hoping there.
Schubert rides a couple of challenges. Penalised. It's a lovely ball. Hammond missing out there. Into the circle we go with Yoon. Goalkeeper Lambert is down. Got a good block on the ball. Good work there by Fergus Kavanagh.
Lovely play. Well done. Smith there. Schubert missed it. Could have been dangerous.
Chul Kim. Korea working this right-hand side. This is Yoon. No way through into the Australian circle there, though. Chul Kim again. High aerial, but out of play. Bouncing towards the grandstand. That's Luke Dorner there, back tracking after that misplaced aerial. Yu, across the circle it goes. And hammered away there by Australia.
Well, Nick, just as we said that Korea weren't looking dangerous, they've had a couple of minutes of better work. Ball's been in the Australian circle for a while, and they're looking more convincing.
Still looking for that final pass.
Good work by Lambert, otherwise they might have had a corner. That's what, of course, they want most. Yang there, a very dangerous corner taker. Guest relieves pressure, but there's a breach.
So free hit for Korea. About a quarter of the way through this one. Australia leading by that early goal by Ellie Mattison. Now Schubert was able to pick that up. He was through.
Well, the ball fell to Smith. There he is, and he just had to first time it quickly, and he hit it just 3 or 4 metres ahead of Schubert. Otherwise, Schubert would have been by himself, just the goalkeeper to beat.
Just got a shot of Barry Dance, who's opting to sit up in the stand today rather than on the team bench,
which is Barry's preferred position.
What are the main advantages of that elevated position, Rick? Is it
I think
perspective?
I think you get a much better perspective. You can see things happening. You're actually removed from a bit of the excitement and the tension that exists on the bench. So there's some advantages. What you miss is a feeling for what's happening and the capacity to speak to the players on and off. But of course he would be connected with Colin Batch, who is on the bench, and so he would get information. But you lose some of the tone of the game, I think, but you certainly get a better perspective.
What did that come off? It came off the foot, and Korea can now pull up to their corner battery to get them back into this game. Lovely skill on the ball here coming from Yu. Went past the first challenge, and very similar, Rick, to the corner that the Australians won a few minutes ago.
Well, Yu is one of their very, very dangerous players. Cleverly worked, and as we said, 4 or 5 minutes of pressure. Australia looking a bit uncomfortable. Perhaps just didn't control the ball as well as they might have, and so now an opportunity for Yang, and he's very dangerous.
Here he is, Yong Hyun Yang. Not much of him, but he gets a lot of power generated through this flick shot of his. He'll put a lot of work in these important days leading up to Beijing. Let's see how good he's going at the moment. There he goes. Oh, it's a good shot and a fine save as well. Bit central, perhaps.
Well, any save's a good save. Lambert would be thinking, but yes, probably just close enough to him. He got his left glove to it. Well done. 5 minutes of better play from Korea, a little bit more control, a little bit more discipline.
Out in the left-hand corner.
Not that they're ever lacking in discipline.
A lovely ball to the top of the circle. Shot comes in, charged down by Hammond, and knocked away there by Dorner. He looks a bit shaky at the back at the moment. Misplaced pass there from Zhang. Schubert doing the hard work back in defence. Wins the free hit, now jogs forward again.
There's the corner, there's the shot, well done. Dorner was going for it, but Lambert well and truly had it covered.
Big blast on the whistle there from John Wright. Free hit to Australia.
Australia would be wanting just to reassert themselves a little bit more. Dorner moving off, and we're going to see George and Wells working at the back now. The old combination. And this would happen while Guest is on in the middle, and Guest, of course, is their alternative flicker. They also have Smith on the field, so they've got 2 alternatives to take the corners, so they're covered there.
Hit into Korea.
Australia's captain, Bevan George, really important to them here, but has had some injuries in the last year or two, and he's been used sparingly this season.
Now Abbott.
I like the way he moves.
To take them on. Yeah, he's good, isn't he? Andrew Smith just trying to work some space for himself.
I think the point you made earlier, Nick, he's fresh. And he fears no one. He knows no one in international hockey, so he just plays his game, and that gives him a certain freedom.
Now we've got a corner here, Rick.
The bridge, well, yeah, maybe it was inside the circle, pretty tough.
Ball coming off the stick of Kang and striking the defender on the body as well. So
his stick was inside the circle, but his body was outside.
Yeah. Tough one.
Tough one.
John Wright was looking across there. He was happy. No real protest from the Koreans, who are one of the world's more disciplined side when it comes to umpiring decisions and their acceptance. So let's have a look at what Australia got up the sleeves at this corner. Sure, it's a beauty. That's David Guest, and he got some power and some heat on that one, and it flew into the back of that Korean net. Well, you said he was good, Rick, at the corners. He certainly got some power there.
Well, they've got three options here. They've got Wells to hit, Guest, or Smith on his left, and that's a good one. Well placed, and that'll give him a lot of confidence going into the tournament.
That was an absolute hurler of a corner. So 2-0 Australia lead. It's looking good for them at the moment. Here's Zhang. He bet he wishes he could have found a corner like that a moment ago when he had a chance to tie things up for Korea. Scoreline now looks very good for Australia. Zhang throws it over the top. Abbott missing out there. Bit of a tap on the stick there. Eddie Ockenden is penalised. Now Yo. Nice skills from Yo. Dwyer picks it up. Dwyer. Oh, it came off the defender's stick there.
Well, he should have given the ball early. There was a call even there from the bench.
Yeah,
he should have given it, and he just did too much. He's a clever player, but he would have saved himself a 30-metre sprint also. Real pressure from the Australians caused the turnover, and again, here the Korean players not having it their own way.
Korea desperate to get a goal back before the interval if they can. They haven't covered themselves in glory in this first half an hour or so. Offered very little.
What I like about this Australian team is the flexibility, though. There's a bunch of players who can play a range of different positions.
Hard work there by Australia, but the ball's out of play in front of the grandstand on the far side there, which is starting to fill up as big crowds expected for late in the day start to arrive here. Free hit to Korea, not a particularly promising position. Australia again back in numbers. Zhang has come up to put some power on it. Across the circle it goes. There is space on the far side. The ball just wouldn't fall into the circle. And Eddie Ockenden quickly across there to block out the danger. Dwyer. Dwyer again, picking up the loose ball. Now Abbott has drifted out to the left-hand side. Looked for the ball back to David Guest there, but played it too far ahead of Guest.
Well, it just had to be a perfect ball, and Guest was through. Kang.
Oh, and Lambert can't reach it, and Korea get their goal. It didn't look a particularly dangerous situation. Yo was on the ball, and it wasn't a powerful shot, but he put it right in the corner. And Lambert stretched Rick, but he couldn't keep it out.
Well, Kang did very well at the top here. He pulls across, he just reverses the ball back. You just got a touch to it, and just enough. Lambert was not sighted, just touched it. It's enough. You've got to get it going at the goal. First rule when you get in the circle, and it's a tidy finish. Well, but a reward for a bit of effort now. They've done better in the last 10-15 minutes.
I think Stephen Lambert might have a word with his defender there, who was standing almost in front of him, giving him no vision of the ball at all. And by the time Lambert got a glimpse of it, it was too late.
And I think that was the cleverness of the pass from Kang. He just changed the direction of the ball, even though it wasn't fast. It fooled everyone, and it was enough. Hard to blame Lambert, because yes, you're right, he didn't get a good look at it.
Brown, who has caught the eye in this first half. Here goes Dwyer. Lovely turn. Free hit. Dwyer's pace so unsettling for a defence. Hammond choosing to leave it for Matthew Wells. There he is. Hammered straight at the goal there. No deflection. Korea there, really no options, just looking to play the ball into a foot, but the Australians guarding their feet well.
Well, the long pass again, right from the defence.
Korea just making a couple of changes and
they're substituting while they just hold the ball at the back.
All the intensity of a training exercise there.
We thought the game had stopped. I was wondering whether the whistle had blown, but no, they were just making their subs. Australia waiting on the half line.
Lee taking an all-comers there. The ball's broken kindly for Korea. This is Hong. Abbott. Good early ball for Dwyer. Dwyer taking position between the two defenders. Oh, good defending there by Jiang, it needed to be. Dwyer forced wide, still in possession. The ball played into the circle there for Ockenden, but coming off the foot there.
Well, I think the back line, the umpire might have said, but Ockenden thought he had it. Must have been pretty close. Umpire Wright was in good position, I think.
As ever, one of the game's better umpires, Johnny Wright. Jiang, again, slowing things down. Kim. Kevin George getting a stick on the ball, knocking it over the baseline. Just a long corner. Samshiok Kim. Deflected out of the circle again by Australia. Back it comes in again with interest. And deflection there, could have finished anywhere.
Well, that ball could easily have gone over the goalkeeper and dropped in. It went across the circle and Brown tied it up.
Namyong Lee who got his stick on the ball. As it left his stick, I did fancy it looping into the back of the net. There goes Seo. So Australians, after building up that 2-goal cushion, is having to endure some late pressure here as we approach half-time. Brown quickly in. Abbott doing the close shot. Oh, that's a brilliant save. Snap shot there, and Lambert's reflexes were terrific. Oh, what a goal that would have been. Ball lifted and is dangerous. Australia have a free. Let's watch that snapshot again. Here it goes. And what a save that was from Lambert.
Well, he was in the right position and he was ready, and had he not been very alert, it would have been a goal.
Well, it was Yeo again, the little number 11. He knows where the goal is. certain simplicity about Yo's game in the circle. If he gets the ball, he gets a shot away on target. And it'll have some rich dividends if he keeps that policy as simple as that.
Well, he's well into his 30s. He's played nearly 250 games. I think he knows what it's about.
Dwyer for Hammond, back for Dwyer. So into the last minute of this first half, Ockenden denied there. Australia seem to have taken a firm grip on this game when they built up for that 2-goal lead through Matheson and Guest. But the goal a few moments ago from Yo suggests this one is far from over yet. No time for Korea to create anything here. Indeed, Australia racing to get this hit in. The Koreans thought was there. Dwyer's there! And very nearly a third goal there. Dwyer throwing himself at the ball, but how alert were Australia there. They were aware of where we were on the clock. They took the hit in, hammered into the circle, and Dwyer coming from nowhere really, throwing himself at the ball.
Well, very close, wasn't it? He was in position, as you have to be.
So half-time here in Rotterdam. Australia lead Korea by 2-1. Well, the Koreans weathered the storm early on as Australia threw everything at them. They conceded when Matheson gave Australia the lead. And a second goal from Guest from a beautifully taken penalty corner seemed to have settled things. But Korea have come back. They found a game at last. And they're back in the action now with that goal from Yo. So the team's disappearing off the park here for their half-time talk. And the pitch watering already in progress. So it set us up for a fantastic second half. Half-time here in Rotterdam. Australia lead Korea by 2-1.
Did they give that goal to Yoon, or was it you? you, 10, number 10 scored the goal, didn't he?
Nee, hier moet dadelijk bij gewapend worden. Ja?
See if we can check it. Yep. 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 Okay. It's good for me. Thank you, Leslie.
Well, until you actually ride in it, you don't realise what a mess it is. Oh, honestly, the women's team, for instance, they are riding here.
Welcome back then to Rotterdam. The teams are still off the pitch at half-time here in this opening game in this World Hockey Champions Trophy. Australia leading Korea at the interval by 2-1. And we've got the highlights of the first half coming up for you in just a couple of seconds' time. Water cannons you can see there, belching out the water onto the field here. We've lost the temperatures of earlier in the week. It's grey and overcast. And pretty chilly for the time of year as well, but a growing crowd in, mainly sporting the colours, of course, of the home nation. So let's have a look back on the first half. Australia quickly into their game. It was a wonderful pass there from Kyle Brown that set up a tap-in goal for Ellie Matheson. That put Korea back early in the game. Really much too easy there, but what a pass this was. Was it intended, or was it meant for Liam de Jong? We'll never know. Korea's best chance seemed to come from the corner. This was their first half corner opportunity. Jang got plenty of power on the shot, but played it too close to Lambert, and Lambert's reflexes did the rest. Going high into the back of the net. Australia also had a couple of corners. That was the pick of them. David Guest there, firing the ball high into the back of the net, beyond Coe's reach. Sling action there. And Australia looked to be an easy streak at this point, but Korea found a way back. That was Woon Kon Yeo just tapping the ball past Lambert, who we reckon was unsighted. Watching again from this angle, see how little the goalkeeper would have seen of it. And Lambert saw a little more of that one, diving high to his left. That was a top draw save. That would have tied it up. Lambert winning his 100th cap for Australia today. And then right on the half-time hoover, Jamie Dwyer throwing himself in at the ball, just unable to direct a shot on target. So 2-1 it was at the interval. A great bit of action that from the exciting Jamie Dwyer. So there's the stats of the first half. 2 corners for Australia, just the one from Korea. Australia's shots on goal shown there as 7 against Korea's 4. Korea have had more possession, but that can be a misleading stat. Most of their possession has been unopposed in their own half of the field. No cards so far. The umpires have been well on top of things here. And as you can see, the team's making their way out now onto the pitch. There's the team from Korea. Goal scorer nearest to the camera. And there's the tall goalkeeper there. Took that knock early on in the game, but showing no ill effects of that. There's the goal scorer again, Woon Kon Yeo. Grant Schubert there for Australia. In those athletic singlets. I don't think they took too much notice of the weather forecast in choosing that kit today. Probably be more fitting in Beijing, Rick.
Well, I think that's the outfit for hot conditions, and you come to the summer in Europe, you don't always find those conditions.
Yes, welcome to Northern Europe. So we're almost ready to go. A few last minute things there. Korea's coach Myung-Yun Cho not looking particularly content with life. What can you tell us about the coach, Rick?
Well, I think that what he knows about his team is that they are diligent, hard-working, they're quick, they're dangerous on the corners. They don't have the finish that you'd like to see in field play. Interestingly, sitting on the bench next to him there was Yang. So they obviously have some other options up their sleeve in respect of the corners, or perhaps there's a disciplinary thing there. Yang normally on the field for most of the time.
Now Robbie Hammond running things in the middle for Australia.
It certainly is the centre of the engine room there. And the bunch of young players on the bench for Australia.
So Korea get the second half underway. They'll be attacking the Australian net away to our left-hand side. Let's see if we can detect any changes from Korea in the second half. They were slow to get into the action. They were really 1 goal behind before they'd woken up at all, and soon 1 became 2. But some signs towards the end of the first half that they have the stomach for it. Now Kim. Nam Yong Lee. Bevan George stepping in. Bevan George wearing that captain's armband on his left arm there. Do Australia still favour a team made up of different captains, Rick, when they'll rotate, or have they settled now?
Well, I think there's a range of players who wear the armband in different games, so I don't think they're necessarily fixed on any one person. And it's not a tactic that I disagree with. I actually think that leadership is for everybody.
Andrew Smith over in front of the Australian team bench. He took it quickly, rather too quickly by the look of things. Here come Korea. Ball handed on a plate there. Kim seems to be taking a bit of a buffering there in the circle. Cha. George got his stick to the ball just as well he did. Knowles in for Hammond. Hammond again. Under pressure. Guarding the ball well. Knowles. Jamie Dwyer out on the right hand side. Hammond diving in, the umpire might want a word. He's given Australia the free hit indeed.
Well, Kang protected the ball with his stick.
Oh, it's a lovely goal. Dwyer got the final touch. Australia so quick there, seizing on the free hit. Moving the ball quickly away. And Dwyer, just as he did at the end of the first half, diving in.
Smith fired it across. There was a touch, and Dwyer finished it. I'm not sure whether Schubert got a touch on it. There's Smith. He fires it quickly. And Dwyer was there. You have to be. Well done.
This time Dwyer's touch puts the ball in the back of the net. And Australia back with that 2-goal cushion again. Well, just as Australia started the first half with a goal, they've done the same in the second half as well. And problems now mounting for Korea.
Almost too easy, isn't it? And you have to think that Korea can't allow those sorts of goals to be scored, whatever their capacity to score themselves. They can't allow themselves to be always chasing.
Well, even the goalkeeper there, Rick, seemed to have taken himself so far out of his goal. He was neither cutting out the pass or saving the shot. Completely out of the equation.
Well, he certainly made a very bad error on Australia's first goal in the first half, and you'd have to worry about his positioning then too.
Dwyer. Really G'd up by that goal. Matheson. Still Matheson. Keeper did better this time. Dwyer almost picking up the pieces. Yoon. Now for Yu. Gets it out on the right hand side. For Kim. Now Yo. Dwyer in with the challenge on Lee. No whistle. Dwyer again. Schubert's making a run on the left hand side. Here's Smith. Hammond for Smith. Winds up, shoots! And finds the back of the Korean net. And Australia on fire. Andrew Smith there with a first time shot. And for the second time in as many minutes, Ko hears that death rattle behind him as the ball strikes the backboards. This time Andrew Smith.
Here's the play. Smith knocks it back. And Hammond does very well. Smith, quick bounce, quick shot. Well done. He took it on the bounce, right in the corner. That was a powerful shot. Well finished.
Well, he's a powerful boy. Blowing a bit there, but a really good goal that for Australia. So 4-1. And Korea absolutely nowhere at the moment.
Well, there's a struggle within a struggle going on here because people like Smith are fighting for a spot in the Olympic team. In a couple of minutes there, he laid on a goal and scored one.
Here from Australia again. This time Ko gets something on it. Long corner. No, not out of play. I thought Andy Mayer was looking across there with his hand in the air. Happy with what he saw. Well, if Australia set out their stall to give Korea some problems early in the second half, it's certainly paying off. But poor Korea, who must have thought they were back in at 2-1 within 5 minutes of the restart, and now as good as out of this one. 4-1 they trail. They've got a free hit here, and Hammond there a little bit clumsy, and the judge be knocking the ball away. John Wright had seen enough And he ups the free hit now to a penalty corner.
Well, I don't think it was deliberate, but could pay for it.
It was untidy, Rick, wasn't it, really?
Yeah.
And that would have been enough for the umpire, I think. Let's watch it again.
Let's have a look.
Oh,
well, yes, probably could have been. No, could have done better than that, I think.
I think at this level.
Yes, you'd have to say he can avoid that ball, and John Wright maybe was right. Hammond knocked it away, didn't allow the quick free hit to be taken by Korea. Correct decision. Australia perhaps lucky in that earlier decision when Yang was tackled by Hammond in the midfield, so perhaps it always evens up. I think that's the right decision here, and now Yang has his chance.
Well, he needs a goal here, otherwise this could become a cricket score. Yang shot goes low, and the goalkeeper did well. Young Yang with a shot, Lambert with a save. Difficult for the goalkeeper getting down, but a big man, but he did really well. Work by Korea, ball bouncing around, Lambert's grounded, and the whistle goes in favour of the goalkeeper there. Now Schubert. Abbott was ahead of him, but the ball didn't believe Schubert stick. It might do now, ball played back. Abbott with a big swing of the stick. Yo. Early ball. This is Kavanagh. At what stage would you expect a coach to fulfill his Olympic selection, Rick?
Well, I don't think that Australia will finalise their selection until after this tournament. They've got some players back in Australia who would still be in contention. Livermore, of course, is one of them. And there's 18 players here, so they've probably got about 20 or more in the mix. So from Australia's point of view, later the better from my point of view too, because the players have to keep working to get better all the time. If you select the team too early, then they spend all their time worrying about getting injured and wanting to be there and don't improve as much as they could.
Here's Dwyer. Good chance, coded well. Abbott's taken off the line by the defender. Abbott desperate to get on the goals scoring sheet here. Came very close. Those must be difficult telephone calls for the coach to make, Rick, or face-to-face perhaps with the players who don't make it.
I think that's the hardest thing you have to do. In my time as the coach, then selecting the Olympic teams was always the most difficult decision, and it's easy with the ones who are selected, very hard with the players who get left out, many of whom are very unlucky. They're good enough to contribute and to play a role, and unfortunately they missed the chance.
Australia getting a bit of a nonsense there. Two of their more experienced players not combining particularly well. This is Wells and George.
Well, he had 2 or 3 options on there, didn't take any of them, and then ended up making a mess of it.
Yo did well. Ball deflecting off the defender. I thought it came off his stick, but the umpire has given the penalty corner there. Kavanagh can't believe it.
Kavanagh saying it did hit his stick. We'll see.
John Wright, of course, didn't get this replay. Well,
it's hard to say.
Rick, very hard to say. So a second corner of the second half for Korea. So far, they haven't been able to find a way past Lambert. This will be Zhang's third attempt.
Well, Lambert saved one high and one low. He did very well on the low ball. They were very difficult often. I've seen balls taken off the line at the other end, so there's been plenty of action in the second half.
Certainly has. Well, high with the first, low with the second, so perhaps mid-height this time for a complete set. John Wright just moving the defence back behind the line.
The big issue, of course, has been the direction. I think they've been in the middle.
That wasn't, and it's gone in. It's flown past Lambert this time. I think it was a deflection somewhere along the way.
Australian stick. I think it's come off an Australian stick. Pretty hard for Lambert, that one.
Keeper was committed weight on the right side, I think we'll see from the replay, and the goal will be credited to Jang.
Here it is. Yeah, it's off Knowles.
Knowles disappointed there, but a lot of power on the shot. The end of Lambert's hand and Knowles' stick were very close.
Well, Knowles was in front of Lambert there, and pretty hard for the goalkeeper when that happens.
Now Schubert. Korea showing some indiscipline, knocking the ball away, and Char is spoken to. Andy Mayer from Scotland. Smith trying to play a first-time ball for Abbott.
Right idea, just the wrong execution.
Dwyer. Now for Guest. Oh, for Brown, rather. This is De Young. Now Abbott. Early ball in. And Schubert wasn't far away from that one. Coe having to take charge of the situation in his circle. And
De Young.
Perseverance there from Liam De Young. Korea thought the ball had come off Australian foot. They stopped. De Young didn't. And it's a 5th goal for Australia. And it's raining goals here in Rotterdam.
Well, he would have thought about passing this ball, and then he lost control of it. The goalkeeper bounced up and just knocked it in. Well,
Koreans just standing around that.
Too easy. There it is, just knocked up, and he just tapped it in. Couldn't believe his luck. Normally, you would never get past the goalkeeper in that situation. He hasn't had a good game, Coe.
He hasn't. He might be looking over his shoulder. Young Ho Lee, the second string goalkeeper for Korea, left out of the 16 today, but he'll be fancying his chances perhaps after this performance from the experienced Coe. Now Jang, high ball over the top, must be high, it went over Smith's head.
Before the next match, they just have to get another printer from somewhere. So I don't understand why.
Bevan George.
Yeah, usually that's always the backup situation. Go back to the old days. And this is only for the 5.
Hong. All the way out on this left-hand side for Char. Forward it goes again for Yoon. Knowles gets a block in. Well, if you wanted goals, we are certainly delivering goals. 7 already, and looks like more still to come in this one.
I think so, with 20 minutes left.
And Korea's defence has got as many holes as a string vest at the moment. Not looking good. Look, a pretty dispirited bunch at the moment, the Koreans. Collision there on halfway, no whistle.
Pretty, right? Pretty.
Kim
Right?
knocks it out on the far side again. John Wright awards a free hit to Korea. Skills on the ball, trying to work away into a packed Australian circle. Wells did well. Smith knocks it forward, but no chance there for Des Abbott.
Again, right idea. If he got that ball to Abbott, then Abbott was clear.
How easy has it been for Abbott as an Aboriginal to work his way into hockey? Where was his early exposure, Rick? You know, anything about him?
He's from Darwin, and so in the Northern Territory, and indeed he played in a very good under-18 team that won the national championship from Darwin, which was a small population, 3 or 4 Aboriginal boys in the team, so and some very good ones too, who are, I wouldn't think, so far away from being in the national team. Of course, Aboriginal Australians are, as a percentage of the population, very small, but in Australian football, very well represented. We have some outstanding athletes, so they're very good athletes. And of course, we have a famous Kathy Freeman, and we have a hockey player, Nova Peris.
Peris Kneebone.
Yes. So there's some outstanding athletes in the Aboriginal community, and Desmond, he's been around, he's been recognised for a long time. He played in the midfield a lot, and I think he's more suited to playing at the front. I think Barry Dancer's found the right spot for him, because he has that explosive ability. He's a big boy, but he's also nimble and very skilled. But probably doesn't have the endurance to be a midfielder, but as a finisher, he can be outstanding.
He's going to get some rest, isn't he, playing up front? Important for defenders. Australia having to defend at the moment. Half chance there, falling to Sio.
Here's a chance for Abbott.
Wide on that left-hand side. Drifted past the first defender. Abbott again had the confidence to shoot there. Coe getting a deflection on the ball, knocks it to safety.
And I think that's what he has to offer. He's got that ability to beat someone. He, as you say, he drifted past there, didn't he? Very good. And the confidence to do it. Might have made the pass then. In fact, he had Matheson waiting on the other side. Could have been even a better option.
Well, at least he had the confidence to shoot. That's good to see from the youngster.
Well, that's it. Good work.
Well, the next one. There you go, City.
Still one coming.
With Australia, they're showing their flexibility.
Wellsy, Wellsy. Kyle. Right.
13 shots now on goal from Australia, Rick.
Yeah, and you've got Hammond coming back on, Brown swapping, Dorner's back on, Wells is having a rest, Knowles is playing at the back. There's real flexibility in their lineup, one of the great strengths of this team. And in the midfield, these players interchanging a lot, causes all sorts of trouble for their opponents.
Or just bouncing away there from Ockenden off the turf.
I must say, Nick, they're my favourites for the gold medal again. Australia. It's a long way away. We're in the tournament here in Europe, but
And that's your head rather than your heart?
no, I think it's both.
Well, certainly be a good team, take a good team to beat them.
See, the other, we were saying they've got Livermore at home. They've got Molam, their #1 goalkeeper's not here. Mind you, Lambert, the way he's playing, is very close, I would think, to Molam.
Korea playing for pride now. Good turn by Yoon. Jang. Clattering challenge coming in. Fergus Kavanagh over there. Good communications coming from the Australians, talking each other into position. Ball fired across the face of Lambert's goal, but out of play. Barry Dancer making his way down to the side of the pitch, just having a word there with Liam de Young. Down in front of our commentary position. Hammond plays the ball off. This is Dorner. There he is. Reckoned to be quitting the coach's position after Beijing.
Come Eli!
Well, I think Barry made that clear about a year ago. He's certainly not going to be continuing, so...
We hope to finish on a high, Rick.
Well, he's had a marvellous time as coach. I think you'd have to say easily in the men's game the best record of any Australian coach, and certainly Beijing would be another feather in his cap.
He learnt it all in England, you know, Rick. He was nothing when he came to us. We taught him everything he knows.
I think you didn't realise what you had.
I think that's very true. We knew we had a very nice man, but we also had a very competent one. He's done a fantastic job with this group of talented Australians.
Any coach to be successful needs gifted players, and Australia has a good group at the moment. The challenge afterwards, of course, will be there'll be some retirement. Some of the very best players in this group will no longer be playing, and we'll be rebuilding a new group.
A chance here for Korea to attack the Australian circle. Lambert's out, sliding over the turf. Yo thought about a shot. Oh, it's gone through the legs of the goalkeeper. And Korea have a third goal. Nam Yong Lee, the goal scorer there, number 6. There he is, racing back. And is that a lifeline for Korea, I wonder?
Well, there was the break. Lambert did well. Perhaps not quite enough pressure. He gets balanced again, and that ball just took a deflection. Not much you can do about that. There's the stop. Lambert gets back there. Ball's pushed across, little tip at that distance, just between your legs.
Nothing left to react with at all. And the weight on the back foot a little bit perhaps as well there. So
Right.
5-3.
The ball either hits you or goes in, doesn't it?
Well, in my experience, Rick, it just went in.
Yeah, well, goalkeeping, of course, is a different art to our time. Interesting decision there from Wright. The Korean player was under it. The Australian ran to it, so probably the right one, but sometimes the interpretation a little bit different.
Well, a pipe opener, we could hardly ask for more. 8 goals already and still 10.5 minutes remaining. Deflection this time off an Australian stick.
There's some pressure on Australia. There's some pressure on Australia now, Nick.
A bit more if a fourth goal goes in.
There's still enough time for Korea, and Australia perhaps just sitting back on 5-2 and thinking that they've done enough. You've never done enough. Certainly the game being played in Korea's attacking half now, isn't it?
It certainly is. It's advantage Australia as far as the scoreline is concerned, but Korea starting to turn the heat up a little bit. And they might be catching Australia a little bit cold. Who must have thought this game had been put to bed. Let's not underestimate, though, the job that faces Korea. Still with a 2-goal lead. Blasting the ball away there. High ball over the top, it'll bounce, and Abbott will pick it up. Schubert making ground into the circle, but the ball deflecting off the defender stick took it away from Schubert. Schubert running away out towards the corner flag. Schubert trying to go solo. Sorry, look a little stretched here. Shot goes in and just over the top. Terrific effort there. Lambert taking off. Didn't need to get a touch on it. But that was Hyo-Sik Yu. Let's watch it again. Good movement.
Well, Guest was well positioned, forced him wide, just enough pressure. But the Australians, of course, tried to block the ball in their attack. When Korea broke out, there was a lot of space.
Coach Cho looking a little more animated now. Lee. Ball pass now, Jamie Dwyer. A quiet second half, apart from the early tip-in goal. Kavanagh for Hammond. Looking for the run of Dwyer, but easy pickings there for you. Beautiful pick there by Bevan George. Waited his moment. Now Schubert coming from a deep position. Dwyer popping up on the left-hand side. Goes past the first defender. Tries to pick out the pass to Schubert. Zhang tidying up for Korea.
Well, the Australians just guilty a few times, I think, of looking for a better pass rather than just giving the simple one that was on. And as a result, coughing the ball up.
Dorner. Lovely layoff from Dwyer for Hammond. Abbott's moved to the left of the circle. Here he is. Thought about a first-time shot. Probably regrets he didn't try it now. Smith trying to win the ball back for Australia. Korea, though, coming away. I think there's something in what Rick was saying about Australia probably just taking her off the game a little bit at, what was it, 4-1 and then 5-2. But another Korean goal now could really set them back. Smith trying to force the ball through. Taken down well by Kim, Yongbae Kim. Lee. Now for number 15, Yongbok Cha. 9 is Yoon, but allowing the ball to drift over the line there. Dorner's high aerial, taken down by the defender. Dwyer sensibly just staying off his man, allowing the defender time to bring the ball down. If he gets any closer, he concedes the free hit. Good tackling back there by Dwyer. Hammond takes it on for Australia. Over halfway, Abbott again to the left. Dwyer closer still. Jamie Dwyer on for Abbott. Ball played back. Goalkeeper again came out of his goal.
Well, the Koreans then, they're tired, they've been running from end to end. Australia attacked quickly. When the ball spilled out, the Australians were there again.
Not Abbott's day at the moment. He's come so close on so many occasions, just can't find the killer touch.
Yeah, not quite inside.
Fast break on here for Korea. Plenty of gold shirts back for Australia. Bevan George using his reach to good effect.
Well,
Here he is again.
He's a great tackler, one of the best in the game, and there was 2 examples. Good pass.
Smith did so well there to get enough power on the ball. Now this is Ockenden running into the circle.
Just that final pass, not quite there. Wonderful play by Ockenden. He did very well. He looked like he was out of it. And he's very quick. Quicker than he looks.
Is he a Tassie boy?
He is. Again, he played here in the Junior World Cup in 2005. And probably better suited as a midfielder, playing at the front. But will probably end up as a midfielder, I would think.
Brown winning a free hit for his country. Zhang with the headband, back defending now. Andy Mayer pointing out the whistle has gone. It's gone in favour of Australia. Wyatt.
Decided to run down the clock, I think, rather than get the ball into the circle.
Less than 3 minutes left in this one now. Very much now as if Australia will start this tournament with the 3-point haul. Backpedaling, trying to get back into position. Korea running the ball out of defence. Zhang fires it across the right-hand side. Back in now for Seo. When the Koreans get back to their team hotel, Rick, and they look at the video of this game, where do you think it all went wrong for them?
Well, they'd be worried about their goalkeeping. A couple of bad errors really cost them at the beginning of the first half and the second half. And you can't afford to give the team 2 or 3 goals, soft ones. I think they'd be worried about that. Australia, of course, have had more chances than that. From Australia's point of view, they'd be concerned about the finishing. Not as crisp, not as smart as it could have been, and indeed, but for a little bit of untidy goalkeeping, maybe they wouldn't have had 5 as they have.
It's a good ball. Terrible final pass though. It is neither a strong pass nor an accurate one. Next up today we have the meeting of Germany and Argentina. Argentina, the one side here in Rotterdam who won't be going to Beijing. They missed out in one of those Olympic qualifying tournaments earlier in the year. They found themselves in the same group as New Zealand, and it was a pretty close run thing, but the Kiwis coming out on top.
Golden goal. Hard way to miss.
Heartbreak, absolute heartbreak.
And of course, I think they lost to Canada on penalties in the American qualifier, so they were so close twice.
So near and yet so far. Well, we're very near now to the final whistle as Korea get the ball to the Australian circle, but Australia have enough players back there to cope. Jamie Dwyer plays it forward for Ockenden. No real time here. De Young's made a run, but I think the hoop is going to beat him. Indeed it does. Coe came out, but the whistle sounds here. The end of the first game here in this World Hockey Champions Trophy. Australia have beaten Korea by 5-3. Well, a thoroughly deserved victory there for Barry Dancer's boys. He pulls the headsets out of his ear. We'll go back now to the team group to offer some congratulations and no doubt also some pointers for how things must improve. Smith there with Stephen Lambert. Lambert's 100th cap ends in a victory. No goals today for Des Abbott, but no doubt late in the tournament we'll see that aspect of his game as well. So a good day at the office again for Barry Dancer, and he takes another step towards Beijing. So full time, Australia 5, Korea 3. of his goal. Andrew Smith fired that one home past Coe. 2 goals in 2 minutes at that point, and Australia are really on fire. Zhang's penalty corner coming off Mark Knowles' stick. Again gave Korea just a little bit of hope, but back came Australia. And Liam de Jong there somehow ending up with the ball at the end of his stick, allowed to run far too far. And a deflection from Lee, past again an unsighted Lambert, nothing more than a consolation. So an exciting first game here in the Champions Trophy. There's the stats of the game. 5-3 it's finished. 3 penalty corners to Korea, but just one of them ending up in the back of the net. Australia's 14 shots on goal, impressive. So a really good start to the tournament in general. The top 6 teams in the world, although you have to wonder whether Argentina could genuinely call themselves a top 6 team at the moment.